Hello, YouTube. Luigi here. 2 years ago I posted a video titled My First Laminated Styrofoam Block for Sculpture. I was delighted to find that this video, in which I'm clearly new at this, garnered over 38,000 views and many genuinely sincere questions in the comments. Well, the truth is that since then I've actually started 6 styrofoam carvings and have finished none of them for mostly hard coating reasons, and we'll certainly get into that here. First of all, you need to understand that this video will deal with my learning experiences relative to sculpting, adhering, hard coating, sealing, and finishing expanded polystyrene, or XPS, only. I respect and admire the work of those many skilled and talented carvers of EPS out there, but that material simply isn't my cup of tea. Speaking only for myself, I prefer the denser XPS products. Besides, I could never come to terms with those zillions of static, clingy, tiny styrofoam beads, or snow as it's called, that seem to get everywhere, stick everywhere, and are difficult to clean up. Nonetheless, one of the great advantages of working with EPS is that it can come in giant blocks. XPS comes only in boards or sheets of varying thickness and densities. I usually buy it in boards 2 inches thick, 24 inches wide by 96 inches long. This will actually fit in my car. I buy Owens Corning Foamular 250 because it's readily available at my local Home Depot. The 250 is a measure of density. It also comes in 100 and 400. For my next piece, I will try to find the 400, even if it's a special order. I think I would prefer the higher density and would worry less about the efficacy of my so-called hard coatings. So how does one turn a board into a block? In this example, I cut a 96-inch sheet into 16-inch pieces and glued them together and weighted them down with anything I could find until the adhesive cured. Well, here's where I made my first mistake, and I'm happy to share this experience with you. I used P&L 300 foam board adhesive because it only seemed logical to use a foam board adhesive to glue foam boards together. Many solvent-based adhesives will actually eat away the foam, but this one won't. This product is great in the construction industry, where you're trying to adhere foam board to concrete or plywood or other substrates, or even to itself. There are basically 3 problems with this product if you use it to create a block for carving. Number 1, it has a 168-hour, that's 1 full week, curing time. And even after that, this rubbery material will remain somewhat elastomeric. Secondly, it goes in with considerable thickness, meaning your boards won't be in absolute tight contact with each other. And lastly, when carving, your knife will hiccup as you draw it over the rubbery glue, interrupting the smoothness of your cut. For all these reasons, I cannot recommend this product for this purpose. Foam Fusion by the Hot Wire Foam Factory is an excellent foam adhesive, but expensive compared to what I use now. The strange thing about the product I now use is that it's literally not even an adhesive. I learned about it in a very instructive YouTube video where a foam artist compared 3 or 4 or 5 different adhesives and settled on this one, Glidden Gripper. It's a bonding primer, and it seems to work exceptionally well with foam board. It comes in white and gray. The lady demonstrating this product said she applied it with a brush to one surface only and then put the 2 together. Others recommend coating both surfaces, letting them dry to a tackiness before putting them together. This is what I do. Because it's brush applied, it goes on thin. You don't get a thick gap between your boards, and your knife will feel no hiccup as you glide through the joint. Glidden Glitter is my strong recommendation as an adhesive. Because of the relative soft nature of both kinds of foam, once your piece is carved and sanded, you will want to apply a hard coat to give it some durability. One widely used product comes from Hot Wire Foam Factory and is called Foam Coat. This comes as a powder, you mix it and you apply it to your foam. And even another more widely used product is Durham's Rock Hard Water Putty. This is nothing new. This product is over 80 years old and also comes as a powder. I think these products are essentially identical, but the Durham's is more popular simply because it's considerably less expensive. Once again, here's where I made another big mistake. I opted to go with the Durham's Rock Hard Water Putty. Believe me, Rock Hard doesn't begin to cover it. This stuff is literally like sanding iron. A tremendous amount of exertion yields a tremendous amount of dust, but I never got close to the smooth surfaces I was looking for. Nonetheless, if your work requires a skip trowel or other textured finish, Durham's may be the perfect product for you. These are the pieces I started carving but gave up on long before I could finish sanding them. I gave up on these pieces and they have sat unfinished for years. Then I started a new piece and vowed not to make the same catastrophic blunders. Here you see my block, this time laminated with Glidden gripper. Here is the original sketch. I enlarged the sketch to the proper scale, then mirrored it, and then adhered these cartoons to both sides of the block using, you guessed it, Glidden gripper. From there, with the sketch to guide me, the carving was quite easy. Here you see the sketch, the piece before the swirls were applied, and then with the swirls. Note that the final swirls are smooth and not jagged and broken as in the original sketch. Remember, a sketch is only a concept, a point of departure, a beginning. In fact, the word conception, which comes from concept, means a beginning, such as a baby's moment of conception. Speaking only for myself, I've always said that if my final piece turns out to look exactly like my sketch, then I've failed to allow the piece to grow and evolve during the creative process. Sketches are not sacred scripture. We should not be afraid to violate them. We need to set our hard and fast ideas aside and be open to what the creative process is trying to show us as we move along. The work is speaking to us all the time. We just need to be open to its whispers. Once the foam is sanded, I'm ready to apply my new hard coat material. But first, to ensure good adhesion, I prime the sanded foam with, you guessed it, Glidden gripper. I doubt if I will ever go near Durham's Rock Hard Water Putty again. I've discovered a suitable hard coat material, USG Dust Control joint compound. I apply it with, of all things, a butter knife. Let it harden and then sand it down. I can fill divots and holes and even build up surfaces where I might have carved it down too far. Don't ask me how, but the dust control thing really works. I sand in front of a window with a 2600 CFM exhaust fan, and it sucks most of the dust out immediately. Once the piece is primed, hard-coated, and sanded, I apply acrylic gloss medium. The first coat is diluted with 1/3 water to make it thinner, so it seeps into the pores of the joint compound more deeply. The second coat is applied full strength. Here the second coat has been tinted lightly, so I can tell which swirls I've already finished. I use gloss medium because the higher the gloss, the harder the finish. I'm counting on these gloss coatings to add additional hardness to the joint compound. When both coatings of the gloss medium have cured, I intend to have this piece sprayed with a hammer tone paint, and I'm thinking of red. I first have to check if the solvents in the hammer tone paint will dissolve styrofoam and or the acrylic coatings. I gravitate toward this paint because of its slight visual texture, which can help hide a lot of sins left by the sanding process. So there you have it. What I've learned basically comes down to a change in board adhesive and hard coating. I now use a Glidden gripper for board adhesive and also as a bonding primer before hard coating. For hard coating, I now use USG Dust Control Joint Compound. I hope you found this helpful. I really do. This is a fun hobby, and I know a lot of people enjoy it so much as I do. Stay safe out there. God bless you. I love you all. Good night.